At this very moment, there could be a snake silently hiding within the boundaries of your garden. And the irony is that your carefully chosen plants are the primary reason it has decided to take up residence there. Most homeowners remain completely unaware that some of the most common and aesthetically pleasing garden plants are essentially broadcasting an open invitation to snakes. It is important to understand that snakes are not necessarily attracted to the biological makeup of the plants themselves. Rather, they are drawn to the specific environmental conditions those plants create. These botanical choices provide the exact survival requirements a snake seeks: reliable shelter, deep shade, consistent moisture, and a steady, accessible food supply. Today, we are conducting a comprehensive analysis of 15 specific garden plants that are notorious for attracting snakes, examining the precise reasons why each one serves as a magnet and detailing the exact steps you should take to mitigate these risks. English ivy. English ivy is arguably one of the most snake-friendly plants you can possibly maintain in a residential landscape, yet the vast majority of gardeners have no inkling of the danger. This plant is characterized by dense, ground-hugging vines that interweave to create a thick, dark, and nearly impenetrable layer of cover. Snakes utilize this structural density as a secure hiding spot to remain undetected during the daylight hours. Furthermore, the environment beneath the ivy remains perpetually moist and cool, which serves as a primary attractant for insects, slugs, and small rodents. Because these creatures constitute the bulk of a snake's diet, an English ivy patch is essentially a high-end buffet with built-in permanent shelter. Liriope, monkey grass. Liriope, which is also frequently identified as monkey grass or lily turf, is a ubiquitous border plant that simultaneously serves as a premier snake habitat. The growth habit of Liriope is characterized by dense, clumping foliage that remains low to the ground, creating a complex tangle of leaves. This structural arrangement allows snakes to slide into the foliage and disappear from sight within a matter of seconds. Additionally, the plant is excellent at retaining moisture, ensuring that the soil underneath stays damp and cool. This is the exact type of microclimate that snakes actively seek out when they need to regulate their internal body temperature during the heat of the day. Juniper shrubs. Low-growing juniper shrubs are particularly problematic because they spread horizontally with thick, heavy branches that often make direct contact with the ground. This growth pattern creates a dark, expansive canopy of cover that is shielded from overhead view. Snakes, particularly the larger species, find these shrubs highly attractive for coiling underneath during peak temperatures. The dense evergreen branches keep the internal temperature remarkably stable while ensuring the ground remains shaded. Moreover, the accumulation of dead needles beneath the shrub provides a dry, insulating layer that functions as a perfect denning area for various reptiles. Ornamental grasses. Tall ornamental grasses, including popular varieties such as pampas grass, miscanthus, and feather reed grass, add beautiful texture to a landscape but are absolutely ideal for snake habitation. The structural base of these grasses is often very thick, creating a hollow, sheltered void at the center of the clump. Snakes can enter and exit these central cavities without ever being spotted by a human or a predator. The significant height of the blades also provides a vertical screen that protects them from birds of prey, effectively turning your ornamental grass installation into a five-star retreat for local snake populations. Hostas are beloved shade-loving perennials, but their wide overlapping leaves are perfect for creating a cool, dark microclimate directly against the soil. Snakes utilize hosta beds in much the same way they would utilize a natural rock crevice, as a protected resting spot where they can remain hidden while staying in close contact with the earth. Beyond the physical cover, hosta beds are notorious for attracting slugs and frogs, since these are two of the most common prey items for smaller snake species. The hostas provide both the housing and the hunting grounds in one location. Creeping phlox. Creeping phlox is a ground cover that hugs the earth tightly, spreading into a dense, colorful mat that is nearly impossible to see through. While it looks beautiful when in bloom, that thick mat of vegetation traps significant moisture against the soil and facilitates a hidden layer of biological activity underneath. Insects, earthworms, and various small invertebrates move freely beneath the flocks, which inevitably draws in hunting snakes. Because the plant is so low and flat, homeowners rarely notice a snake traversing through the mat until they are standing directly on top of it. Pachycandra stands as one of the most widely utilized ground covers in American landscaping, and it is also one of the most snake-friendly options available. It typically grows in thick, uniform mats that are highly effective at blocking sunlight from reaching the soil surface. This results in a ground environment that is permanently moist and cool. The combination of dense, consistent coverage and reliable moisture acts as a powerful magnet for earthworms, woodlice, and small amphibians. All of these creatures serve as food sources that bring snakes into very close proximity to your walking paths and flower beds. Azaleas are characterized by a dense, low-branching structure that naturally creates a sheltered architectural space right at the ground level. Snakes frequently utilize the void beneath azalea bushes as a primary daytime resting area, particularly during the warmer months of the year. Furthermore, the leaf litter that naturally collects and decomposes under the azaleas provides a habitat for insects and other small prey. This effectively transforms the base of your azalea, planting into a dual-purpose zone that functions as both a secure snake shelter and an active feeding station. Holly bushes. Holly bushes are prized for being thick, full, and often thorny. While these sharp leaves keep many mammalian predators at bay, they make the interior of the bush incredibly attractive to snakes seeking a safe haven. The dense, dark interior of a holly bush is nearly impossible to inspect visually, allowing a snake to remain completely undetected for days at a time. Additionally, holly bushes produce berries that attract a variety of birds and small mammals. In the natural food chain, where there are small mammals and birds, snakes will inevitably follow to hunt. Vinca periwinkle vinca, commonly known as periwinkle, is an aggressive, fast-spreading ground cover that carpets the soil in a solid, unbroken layer of vegetation. Because it spreads so vigorously, it creates expansive, continuous stretches of cover. This allows snakes to move across large portions of your garden freely without ever being exposed to the open air or predators. The moist, shaded conditions found underneath the vinca vines are also the ideal habitat for frogs. Wherever frog populations are high, snake activity and presence will increase significantly. Compost and mulch beds. While not a single plant species, compost and mulch beds are critical components of this list. Deeply mulched garden beds that are planted with thick perennials or shrubs create some of the most attractive conditions imaginable for snakes. Mulch is designed to retain moisture and warmth, which generates high levels of microbial activity. This activity draws in earthworms, insects, and rodents. Snakes are particularly drawn to the warmth generated by decomposing mulch in the early spring, as they emerge from dormancy and require external heat sources to jumpstart their metabolism. Blackberry and raspberry canes. Both wild and cultivated brambles, such as blackberries and raspberries, grow into incredibly dense and thorny thickets. These patches are nearly impossible for humans or larger predators to navigate or push through. This high level of physical protection is exactly why snakes choose to take up long-term residence in bramble patches. The ripening fruit attracts birds and rodents, which brings snakes in as the apex predators of that micro-ecosystem. The tangled, thorny canes provide all the structural shelter they need to remain in the area permanently. Daylilies. Daylilies are extremely common in residential gardens and are almost always planted in large, dense clusters. As the foliage naturally dies back and regrows season after season, it creates a significant buildup of dead plant material at the base of the clump. This decaying matter holds moisture and offers snakes a perfect place to hide at ground level. Daylily beds are especially attractive during the spring months when snakes are actively foraging and searching for warm, sheltered spots that remain close to the soil. Sedum stonecrop, low-growing varieties of sedum spread close to the earth and create dense, succulent mats of foliage. While the sedum plant itself might not attract a high volume of prey, it provides a unique type of low, flat cover in sunny areas. This is exactly the type of environment that certain snake species prefer for basking, Snakes will often position themselves at the very edge of a sedum mat or just slightly underneath the succulent leaves to absorb solar warmth from the sun while remaining largely hidden from the view of predators. Garden ferns, especially the large, spreading varieties like ostrich ferns or autumn ferns, create a lush and dense canopy very close to the ground in shaded garden areas. The combination of overlapping dense fronds, consistent soil moisture, and heavy shade creates a cool, humid microclimate. This specific environment is highly attractive to salamanders, frogs, and earthworms. Since all of these creatures are primary prey for common garden snakes, fern beds often become some of the most active snake zones in a shaded landscape. Prevention tips. Now that you have identified which plants are contributing to the problem, it is important to understand how to reduce the risk of snake encounters without necessarily tearing out your entire garden. Keep your grass short. Snakes instinctively avoid open, exposed areas where they are vulnerable to predators. By keeping your lawn well mown, you remove their ability to travel unseen across your garden and eliminate the cover they need to approach your home. Trim shrubs up off the ground. The primary danger zone for most shrubs is the space between the lowest branches and the soil. You should trim the bottom of your shrubs so that there is a clear, visible gap of at least 6 to 12 inches between the ground and the leaf canopy. This removes the hidden pocket of space that snakes rely on for concealment. Remove leaf piles and debris immediately. Leaf piles, wood piles, and general garden debris represent premium snake habitat. You must not let these materials accumulate in your garden, as they provide instant housing for snakes and their prey. Create a gravel border around your home. Snakes generally dislike crossing rough, exposed surfaces like gravel because it offers no cover and can be uncomfortable to move across. A 2 to 3 foot wide gravel border around your home's foundations can significantly reduce the likelihood of a snake approaching the structure. Control rodent populations. This is perhaps the most vital long-term prevention step you can take. Snakes are driven by their stomachs, and they will always go where the food is most abundant. If you eliminate the rodents, the snakes will have little reason to stay. Thin out dense ground cover regularly. Do not allow your ground covers to mat into solid, unbroken layers. Periodically thinning these plants allows more light to reach the soil and reduces the density of the hiding spots available to snakes. Eliminate standing water and moisture sources. You should fix any leaky irrigation lines, remove containers that collect rainwater, and work to improve drainage in areas of the garden that stay soggy after a storm. Reducing excess moisture makes the environment less attractive to both snakes and the amphibians they hunt. Safer alternatives if you are looking to reduce snake attraction without sacrificing the beauty and function of your landscape. There are several safer alternatives that provide excellent results with far less risk. Instead of using dense ground covers like ivy or pachysandra, you might consider using decomposed granite, river stones, or decorative gravel as a ground treatment in your problem areas. These materials provide a clean look without offering any place for a snake to hide. Instead of planting large, sprawling, ornamental grasses, try using low-growing, clumping grasses that stay tighter and do not develop a hollow center at the base. Blue fescue is an excellent option because it remains compact, tidy, and easy to inspect. Instead of wide-spreading shrubs that hug the ground, choose upright, columnar shrubs. These varieties grow vertically rather than spreading wide at the ground level, which keeps the soil surface visible and less appealing to snakes. Instead of deep, heavy mulch beds, try using a much thinner layer of mulch, ideally 1 to 2 inches maximum, over a base of landscape fabric or gravel. This provides the aesthetic benefits of mulch without creating the deep, warm environment that snakes love. For the shady areas of your garden, instead of relying on ferns and hostas, consider using raised planters or elevated container gardens. By lifting your plants off the ground, you eliminate the ground-level hiding zone entirely, making it impossible for a snake to find cover beneath the foliage. Lighting can also be a powerful deterrent. Installing solar-powered path lights and motion sensor lighting around your garden borders makes your garden much less appealing for nocturnal snake activity. Finally, consider planting lavender, marigolds, and lemongrass in your sunny borders. These plants are commonly associated with a deterrent effect due to their strong scents. And more importantly, they do not typically attract the prey species that draw snakes into your garden in the first place. You now have a complete understanding of these 15 plants and the specific reasons why snakes are drawn to them. This knowledge is the key difference between maintaining a garden that remains a safe sanctuary for your family and one that inadvertently becomes a thriving snake habitat. If this exploration of garden safety has changed the way you look at your back garden landscape, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. We are dedicated to unearthing the hidden truths of the natural world and providing you with the knowledge to cultivate a safer, better future. Let's grow together and keep the hidden dangers at bay. Our next guide to mastering your environment will be revealed very soon. Stay vigilant and keep gardening with confidence.